What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Thing Goes back again, making a new video, my first official video. What a hell of a video it's gonna be today, man. Yeah, so I used to talk about Attack on Titan, Shingeki no Kyojin a lot on my previous channel, and it's one of my favorite manga series, and one of my favorite anime series. That's crazy. The storytelling is top notch. Izayama, he does a great job with just tying things back together, as we'll discuss a little bit in this video. The action is crazy and intense. The anime is beautifully drawn and done. The way they do it and everything. The manga, I can't praise it enough, man. It's one of my favorites for a reason, and a lot of people hold this series in high regard. But man, these latest chapters have put Attack on Titan on a whole new level. Like, whatever you thought about this series, good, bad, whatever, you cannot deny that these last few chapters are in a league of their own. They have elevated this series like to a whole nother, man. It's like, now let me bring it back some. A lot of people think that it's a little overly too complicated right now. A lot of people don't really like all the stuff that's happening with the story, think it's a little bit confusing. I, for one, think it makes sense, the stuff that I can understand anyway. But I really like how Izayama is doing it. I like how he's adding a whole lot more meaning to stuff that we saw before, whether it was a minor scene or a major scene that becomes more important, or something that wasn't that important that actually has importance to it, or maybe something that we never even knew at all, that we look at in an entirely different way because of these latest chapters. So it's kind of hard for me to explain, but I'm gonna just jump right in for those of you who don't know. Now, the last chapter that I think I talked about in Attack on Titan on my previous Thingos channel was, I didn't even talk about, spoiler alert, I haven't even talked about when Eren got his head shot off. Like, I haven't even discussed that yet. But, yeah, it's so much, man, so much. Yeah, last thing I talked about was actually when Eren was walking with, Gabby, and I forgot her name, but she's like, she worships Zeke. She's like the leader of the people, like, you know what I'm saying, the Marleyan restorationists or whatever they call them. Like, there's this little faction in the Marleyan group led by this female that has terrible hair. I mean, she just looks like a serial killer. I wish I knew her name. I can't think of her right now. But she just, man, kisses and praises the floor that Zeke walks on. And anyway, they imprison our main characters, the scouts, because they call themselves the Jaegerist. They were working directly under Eren Yeager, because at this point in the story, they thought that Zeke and Eren were actually working together to bring up their plan of what they wanted to do to the Eldians. Now, we had like this whole vague thing going on between Eren and Zeke where we wasn't really sure what their plan was exactly for the Eldians, and you know, what Zeke exactly wanted to do. But we had this pretty dope flashback where we got context to what Zeke and Eren's plan was. Now, Eren, we already knew what his plan was. It wasn't said, but we already knew that his first and foremost, what Eren cares about is freedom. He always talks about how he was born into this world, and you know what I'm saying, like he values freedom a lot, and he values people being able to fight for their freedom, being able to make their own choices. He hates like being in prison, being in like a cage. He hates all that. He wants freedom. That's the key of it all. But lately, his behavior has been kind of going against that. So almost every Attack on Titan fan has been able to notice that he was cooking something up on the back end. Now, he was able to manipulate Zeke and make Zeke thinking that he supported his plan. Now, Zeke's plan was that he wanted to do what they call the euthanasia plan. He wanted to euthanize all Eldians to stop them to be able to, from giving birth, so that he can pretty much end the Eldian race altogether and just, you know, stop them from being able to exist. You know, eventually they'll die out. and that was his plan. And Eren was against that, of course. What Eren wants to do, he doesn't want to put anybody in a position where they can't be free. So just judging off that and the Eren that we know, we knew that he wasn't going to go with this plan. And a lot of people was trying to figure out what was going on. So in these latest chapters, it was crazy, man. So the Marlins just straight up bum rushed fucking Shingon Shina. They just, I'm talking about just came out in the blimps, deep, strapped, ready for war. You know, you got the Jaws Titan. He came from underneath Eren, bit off his legs with a surprise attack. We have Peak. She actually infiltrated the island. She infiltrated Paradise Island like probably weeks before that, trying to get intel and everything. But she had actually drew Eren out into the open and you know, led him into like this trap, so to speak. We have Rainer dropping down from one of the blimps, trying to get possibly, I don't know, like his fourth, fifth fight with Eren. They done fought so many times. You know, I done lost count at this point. But yeah, it's a lot going on, man. We have the military forces of the Marlians. They just came, like I said, full force. On top of all that, you have Zeke, who screamed, and he activated remember how he poisoned all of the wine on Paradise Island with his spinal fluid. We had that awesome issue with Levi in the woods by himself, fighting against all of his comrades that had got transformed into Titans because they had all sipped a little bit of that wine. And when Zeke screamed, they all turned into Titans. We had this awesome splash page of all the Titans just falling from the trees surrounding Levi, and then Levi had to fight against them all by himself. Zeke thought that he was going to hesitate because those were his comrades, and he thought that he was finally going to get killed. But of course, Levi beat that ass again. And one of the funniest issues I've ever seen, man, it's never a fight when Levi and Zeke go against each other. Levi be spanking that ass, and it was just hilarious, man. But unfortunately, Zeke did this suicide bomber move, blew himself up with a thunder spear that was stabbed between his gut, and he blew himself in half, and Levi was a little bit too close to the blast, so it fucked him up as well. He's not dead, but he's probably out of the game for the rest of the series, especially with things wrapping up the way that it is. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. But Hanji and the Jaegerists, they found him. Hanji was able to get Levi, get out of there. The Jaegerists, they met up with Zeke, and they was able to make their way back to Shingon Shina just in time to meet up with the Marlian forces that were invading. Now, of course, they're not on the same side. Zeke is a traitor in their eyes. He was grabbing and breaking off pieces of the wall and throwing it at the blimps, just taking them down one by one. You know how Zeke is with that throwing, man. He has a hell of a pitching arm. So yeah, man, it was just war, just war. You know, you got characters dying left and right. You know, and then Zeke, he took a fatal blow, and which forced him to do the scream yet again. And he everybody that was inside of the walls that had drank wine, some more very important characters. We have Pixies, he's dead now. You know what I'm saying? Like, they all turned into Titans. So I don't really know how many main characters are left, but from what I'm seeing, it just looked like it's the main squad, you know, the 104th, you know, which is a very small number. Armin, Mikasa, Jean, Connie. We have the Warriors, which is Peak. You have I can't even think of his name. I said it before. Rainer. You have the Jaws Titan. I don't know his name right now, but he didn't even live though. He died. Cause see, Falco. Remember how Falco accidentally drank some of that wine? So he actually transformed into a Titan, and he ended up eating the Jaws Titan. It's like the Jaws Titan sacrificed himself, and he was worn out. Eren beat that ass. He came just limping out of his Titan. Half of his face was just wrecked, and he had this pretty good moment where he got to kind of like get closure with this story, thinking about his brother. his brother was the one that got killed by Ymir all those years ago when they was first infiltrating Paradise Island, that made Ymir turn back to normal when she was a mindless titan. When the guy that pushed Rainer out of the way in that flashback, that was actually the Jaws Titan's brother. And he found out that, that his brother was pretty much trying to get him out of the military. He was trying to make him look bad so that he could get him out of the military because he didn't want anything to happen to him. So it was just kind of like this cool moment where he just, because he was always trying to compete with his brother. So it was kind of cool how he, even though he still got into the military and went against his brother's wishes, he never knew that. And then in that moment, he had like an epiphany, found out the truth, and he kind of accepted his fate. He gave himself up. He just wandered right out of the Titan and just gave his life away, and he got eaten by Falco, and Falco transformed back into a regular person. We didn't get to see that though. We just know that he's gonna change back. But yeah, man, so much shit happened. And the coup de grace, the thing that happened that was just so crazy, was that during all this commotion, what made it so intense is that Eren was just trying his hardest to get close to Zeke, to touch Zeke, because Zeke has royal blood, and Eren, he has the founding titan within him. So if he actually touches Zeke, he can activate the founding titan's power, and that's what he was trying to do. So that was their whole plan. Now, Zeke wanted them to do this so that they could get transported to the Titan realm, unlock the power of the founding Titan, and that, crap. Unlock the power of the founding Titan, and they will be able to use that power to do the euthanasia plan and just make the Eldians not be able to give birth. But Eren, as we all know, he had his own plans set up. He had his own things set up, his own plans, what he wanted to do. So, in an intense, shocking turn of events, when Eren was racing, I'm talking about racing, it was, like I said, I can't stress enough how much shit was going on, getting in the way, so much fighting, so much death. Eren just trying to run through all this crazy stuff, make his way to Zeke. You got Rainer trying his hardest to keep Eren away from Zeke. He fighting, he grabbing on his neck. The Jaws Titan, when he was alive, he biting on Eren's ankles and everything while he in Titan form. They trying so hard to stop him, man. And then you have Eren, he hardened his body and then he broke out of his Titan and started running in human form, trapping Rainer, trying to hurry up and get there. Rainer broke free, screaming, trying to grab Eren. It was just so much intense shit. And right in the middle of all that commotion, Gabby with her little, I hate Gabby, man. She picked up this rifle that was twice her size. I don't know how her arm didn't fly out of socket. But she picked up a rifle that was twice her size, and this girl is an expert marksman, must be. And she shot Eren's head clean off, and probably one of the best cliffhangers I've seen in the series. But it's been some dope ass cliffhangers happening with these last recent issues. Like Izuyama is bringing it for the finale, for the final arc of this series. Now he is bringing it. So Eren get his head shot off, and that was the finale to that issue. Now when Eren got his head shot off, his head flew in the air and landed right in Zeke's hands. So in a way, Eren's still came in contact with Zeke. How you still alive for a few seconds after your head detached. So Eren's head landed right inside Zeke's hands, and he still technically made contact with Zeke, which is just awesome in its own. And that's when they both entered the Titan realm. Now when they both entered the Titan realm, that's when you saw this big ass tree, or like this big ass, like it was like symbolism of a huge tree. It was like all these lights connecting to each other in one spot. They call this the paths, where all the paths meet. And where all the Titan paths meet, like this is the Titan realm. This is where all the Titans are created. This realm, time is not relative, like nothing, you can just be in this realm. Time won't affect you. Nothing from the real realm won't affect you. So you can pretty much do so much in this realm, as we see in the following chapters. It's shown that Zeke and Eren are both in here communicating with each other, talking to each other, and they're jumping through time. They're kind of having this playback sequence where they're jumping back through like all these iconic moments in Attack on Titan, and they're getting further context or the actual definition as to what's happening or what happened at certain times. But the cool thing about the paths and then in this realm is that by them going to these different time periods, they can actually affect and change certain things that happen in time. They can affect different things that happen in these time periods. They can like talk to their younger selves or talk to their older selves, or they can influence things to happen differently. They can set things in motion, which was crazy when we found that out, because we saw this like a dope example of this, probably like one of the craziest reveals I've seen in the series thus far. When, okay, you remember, let me take it back some. You remember when Grisha Yeager, Aaron's father, he went to the Reese family. You remember Rob Reese and everything. He went to the Reese's family underneath that church. And remember in season 3 when it showed Aaron's father murdering the Reese family, killing the children. Like, you know, he just killed all of them except for Rob. And he stole the founding Titan's power from, I forgot her name, but one of the Reese's, like the female, the one that was cool, was Historia and everything. She had the founding Titan power within her, and they had a fight to the death, and then he ended up winning. He stole the founding Titan power, and then that's when he gave it to Aaron. That's how Aaron has the founding Titan power himself. So we thought that Grisha was just doing some intense shit. We thought Grisha just killed these children, killed the Reese family, took the founding Titan, gave it to Aaron, and you know, we knew that he was doing it as part of a larger plan, you know, for when everything got set in motion with Kruger and everything, back when he was in Marley, right before he came to Paradise Island. Like, we knew that he had a plan of his own, but we didn't know the context of this plan. We didn't know all the stuff that happened. It was all these minor details that they found out about when they was going through these time periods. Like, for one, Grisha, he was really torn with this decision. He didn't want to do this at all. He wanted to enjoy his new life with his children, with, you know, with Mikasa, with Aaron, with his wife. You know, he did not want to do this. He did not want to carry out this plan. He did not want to kill the Reese family. You know, it was a very sad moment for him. And it was heartbreaking to see this, man. There was another thing that was real cool, is that he found out where the Reese family was relatively quick. Like, damn near as soon as he got on Paradise Island, he found out where they was. But we were given the impression throughout the series that it took him a long time to find the Reese family. You know, all the way up until Aaron got, like, you know, a little older, and, you know, when he had the facial hair and everything, you know, we thought that he was looking for them this whole time, and then he found them. No, he found them quick as hell. Like, he found them super fast, but he decided to leave it alone, not go down there, not do anything, because he was torn within himself. He wanted to go back. He wanted to enjoy life with his family. He wanted to ignore it. He wanted to just forget about it. But it always kept coming back. Even when he went underneath the church, he was pleading with the Reese family. He was pleading with them, telling them that he didn't want to do this. He was trying to find any other way, trying to reason with them. He was trying to find any other way. And even when he decided to do it, he couldn't go through with it. He caved. He fell down to his knees, broke down, couldn't even do it. You got the Reese family talking to her, just like, kill him now. This guy came here to kill us. This is your chance. Kill him, da-da-da-da. He couldn't even go through with it. Aaron's father, Grisha, couldn't even go through with it. And this is the shit that was crazy. Aaron and Zeke, when they was going through these time periods, they went to that period when Grisha was about to kill the entire Reese family. They was watching it. They was right there. And then you see Aaron is the one that actually influenced Grisha to do it in the first place. And I know all this might sound confusing because time and everything, but you have to understand, inside the Titan realm, when they're hopping through these different time periods, time doesn't affect them at all. Time doesn't affect them in the slightest in this realm that they are in. It doesn't even affect them at all. So Aaron is able, like I said, to manipulate things that happened in the past and change the, like, he is able, like, this shit is crazy. It was a mind blowing when I saw it. He actually whispered in his father's ear and he influenced him. He was the one to push him to make him go through with killing the Reese family, killing the children, taking the Founding Titan's power. He was the one that set all that in motion. And I was just like, what? Whoa. What? Like, are you serious right now? My mind was blown. It was blown. I think everybody's mind was blown. Like, nobody was expecting that. That was crazy, man. And I know I'm probably, you know, I'm trying my best to like get to all the good stuff. I know I'm probably missing out on a lot of details here and there. Whatever I'm missing out, whatever I'm not explaining clearly, feel free to explain or comment in the comment section below. Let me know what's going on. If I'm not right about certain things here and there, I'm still trying to figure it out myself. But this is crazy, man. Moral of the story is he influenced Grisha Yeager, his father. Future Aaron influenced him by whispering in his ear. It's actually this funny ass meme that I saw on Twitter earlier that had it had Grisha getting whispered to by Hitler instead of Aaron, which I thought was hilarious. Like Hitler was in place of Aaron whispering in his ear. Man, that was so accurate. but it was just, it's crazy. I can't stress how crazy it is, man. It was so crazy. So yeah. And on top of that, you have Zeke and Aaron kind of like arguing with each other a little bit over like they wasn't really arguing. Whoop, I ain't gonna lie, they was arguing, but they were trying to like essentially tell Ymir, the original Ymir, you know, Ymir, the founder, the founding Titan, Ymir, you know, the first Titan, the little girl that started all this, that, you know, that got the whole Titan story started, the first Titan, you know, the original Ymir. She is in this Titan realm as well, but she is a slave to the royal blood. She's a slave to the royal family. She doesn't even have eyes. She's kind of like this blind, just a little girl. She just does things without just being instructed by the royal family or anybody of royal blood, which is Zeke. It's like she has no control of her own action. She just does whatever she's told. She is a slave. So Zeke, he has control over her. And like I said, what he's trying to do is the euthanasia plan, but the only reason why he holds back on this, even though he has control, is because he really cares about Aaron, his little brother, and he's trying to bring him over to his way of thinking before he actually does the plan. He wants Aaron to understand his way of thinking. He wants Aaron to understand what he's trying to do before he just goes ahead and just do it. That's why he fucked up. He giving Aaron all this time to play him, essentially. You know, so you got Aaron, you know, going along with it. They just going through these time periods and stuff like that. More and more is getting revealed. You had this awesome scene where Grisha actually sees older Zeke and they kind of reconcile. And you can see that Zeke pretty much forgives his father in a way, because Zeke hated his father. He thought his father didn't care, thought he abandoned him. And it was just it's just so many emotions and things happening at once. Like I said, I can't begin to explain it all. You just have to see this stuff, man. Reading the entire story all the way up to this point, understanding what happened, understanding how Izayama tied all these things together. It is crazy when you see it all. Like I said, it is mind blowing, all this stuff that happened in just these few little chapters, man. And you have Grisha telling Zeke, bruh, I need you to stop your brother. I need you to stop Aaron. You need to stop Aaron, because I have seen what happens. He pretty much confirms that the Attack Titan can kind of see the future, but not the entire future. He can just see the future of, he can peek into the future of other Attack Titan wielders. He can see into the future. He can see throughout all of the memories. This is how all Titan shifters kind of work, just without that whole future thing. But all Titan shifters are connected, even the past and the future ones. It's kind of like when they become the Titan shifter, be it Beast Titan, Colossal Titan, Female Titan. It's like they inherit all the memories of the previous Titan user that had that ability. But the cool thing about Aaron is that he can actually see the future thoughts and the future events and everything of the Attack Titan users, and the past. He can just see it all. So this whole time, Eren, through this whole series, Eren has just been getting just these floods and just loads of information, just information, just information. And he's just been piecing this together, piecing that together. He is the mastermind. Who knows how much Eren has known all the way up to this point? Who knows how much Eren has been influencing up to this point? It is crazy. And when you start to theorize about it, you might end up keeping yourself up all night talking until you blue in the face. It's crazy. But yeah, so after all of this, after Zeke finds out that Eren is, he is about to do some crazy shit, after he finds out that he kind of losing control of this and Eren is kind of getting the upper hand and everything, he loses it, tells Ymir, screams to her, the first, original Ymir, the founder. He's like, Ymir, I need you to carry out this plan. Do the euthanasia plan. Get rid of, get rid of the ability for Eldians to have babies. Please do it right now, right now. And Eren, what he did was Zeke had Eren's chained. He had him chained there so he couldn't really move, even though they were still kind of moving through memories. I know it's confusing, you gotta bear with me. But they're in the realm, it's kind of like this huge beach, and he had Eren chained there so that he couldn't move while he was trying to mentally, I guess, take him through these memories and try to get him on his side of things. But once he saw that Eren wasn't going to be on his side of things, he was just telling Ymir, you need to go ahead and do this right now. Eren, with his pure determination and rage and just drive and sheer will, broke out of the chains and started chasing after Ymir because he wanted to stop her as she was slowly edging towards the pass, as she was slowly walking there to carry out what Zeke requested, and she has to follow it because Zeke has royal blood. So she was just mindlessly as a slave walking towards the path to carry out his request. Eren broke free and started rushing towards Ymir so that he could stop her and tell her what he wanted. But what's so awesome about this is that he just told Ymir that he wanted her to be free to make her own decision. He gave her a hug. He didn't grab her, he didn't attack her, he didn't tackle her. He just hugged her from behind, told her that she is free, to make her own decision. Tell her that she doesn't have to be a slave anymore, that she can make her own choices, that it's up to her. If she wants to stay in the Titan realm forever, keep doing what she's been doing, or if she wants to stop the chain, break it, destroy it all, burn it all down. You know what I mean? So it was crazy. I know I'm saying crazy a lot, but that's what it was. I don't know how else to describe this, man. I don't know how else to describe this. Like, I'm at a loss for words. I'm at a loss for words. I really am. I did this, wow. Man, I know I'm rambling. I didn't make a script for this, but I don't even know how I would write this down. Like I said, if you're a fan of Attack on Titan and you saw this already and you've read up to this point and you just saw the connections, how Izayama tied everything together, everything that's going on, everything that's about to happen, man, it is so, I'm not going to say crazy again, but it's good, and the anticipation is through the roof for what's going to happen next. And in the following issue, Izayama did something even better by giving us this huge, and I repeat, huge breakdown of Ymir's backstory. We finally have Ymir's backstory. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into that. I'm going to save that for the next video, the part 2. But yeah, man, the issue ended with Eren running towards Ymir, and he hugged her, and he just told, the issue ended with him just running towards Ymir. But the following issue that had Ymir's backstory, it showed her entire backstory, and it ended with Eren hugging her from the back and just telling her, you free to make your own choices and everything. I'm not going to spoil what happened after that, because I want to go into deeper context and into her backstory in the next follow-up video. I have to reread that issue again, make sure I understand the stuff that I don't right now about her backstory. It's a lot of stuff in there. I need to reread it. I need to study it a little bit. Then I'm going to make another video following this one up. But I just really wanted to get a new Attack on Titan video out to discuss this in some way, shape, or form so I can catch up. I haven't talked about Attack on Titan in a while, and it's just so much to talk about. I know I probably missed out on a few things, but I will be back to talk about this some more. I tried to get it all out in the best way that I could, off script. But yeah, man, just going off the top of my head, that's all the stuff I could think of. But yeah, let me know what you think about the recent chapters in Attack on Titan. Issue 122, 121, 120, 119, 118, like 115 and up. Like let me know what's going on in your head. What do you think? What do you think the story is going to go next? And let's talk about it, man. And stay tuned for my follow-up video talking about Ymir's backstory and theorizing on what I think is going to happen in the following chapters. This has been Thin Ghost. I hope you really enjoyed this video breakdown of me rambling about all the crazy stuff that's been happening in Attack on Titan recently. I hope you're having a good night, day, wherever you are, and please share your thoughts with me. Let's talk about this. Let's start a dialogue. I want to know what you think. I want to know what you have on your mind about this. If you enjoyed it, if you think it's too complicated right now, or if you're just enjoying the ride just like myself. I think Izuyama is an amazing writer. I think it just gets better and better, and I cannot wait to see where the story is heading next. So yeah, guys, hope you're having a good night, day, wherever you are, and until next time, peace.